Spider-Man has had many legacy characters over the years, the most notable ones of course being Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy and Ben Reilly. But there's one that definitely goes ignored and definitely deserves more attention, and that is Mayday Parker, aka Spider-Girl. In today's video we're going to explore why we don't see her in the comics anymore and why she is the perfect legacy character to replace Peter Parker. Let's talk about it. But before we get into that, if you are new around here, I want to urge you guys to subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. Join the best Spider-Man community in the entire world. I know we can reach that goal. With that said, let's get straight into this. Mayday Parker, for those of you who don't know, is Marvel's daughter to Peter Parker, or would have been in the 616 universe if the pregnancy of Mary Jane was never undone. Subsequently, the character has been subject to spin-offs like the Spider-Girl spin-off series, which follows an older version of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson raising their daughter. And of course, we also have Renew Your Vows, which also follows a similar story and a character who holds a similar purpose in Anna May Parker. However, why don't we see Mayday Parker, the classic version of Peter Parker's daughter, in the comics anymore? There are two simple issues to this. First and foremost, they won't allow Peter Parker to grow up. Now, we've talked about this a bunch of times in the past on this channel, so I won't dwell on this point too much, but briefly, let's cover it. Peter Parker right now in the 616 universe is in a state of constant limbo between progressing and regressing in those comics. One writer will come along, get him back together with MJ, get Peter into a stable career, and progress his rogues gallery pretty significantly. However, after a few years, Marvel editorial will step in, replace that writer, and bring someone else in to undo all the progress that has been made, resetting the character back to how he was before, because they believe this makes him more relatable to the youth. To some extent, I get this thought process. I guess it kind of makes him more relatable to the younger readers, but what they don't understand is this is completely destroying the character. The most recent case of this is Nick Spencer's run, where Spencer looked to fix a bunch of the stories from Peter's past and start to move the character forward. However, before Spencer could get a full grip on his stories, Marvel editorial swooped in and essentially forced him off the book, replacing him with Zeb Wells, who in my opinion seems more like a yes man to Marvel more than anything. We know Zeb Wells is actually a good writer. I mean, he wouldn't be working for Marvel if he wasn't. But it seems like because a bunch of his stories are really horribly written, that Marvel editorial is kind of almost controlling him in a way. Either way, Peter has been absolutely suffering for the last couple of years, and it's really noticeable. And this is why we will never see his daughter in the mainline continuity. The second issue and reason as to why we don't get to see Mayday Parker is unfortunately Miles Morales. Now, I love Miles so much. He's a great character and personally one of the best modern creations from comics in the 21st century. However, due to his popularity, he has become the default go-to Spider character after Peter Parker's time is done. The Spider-Verse films are a prime example of this. Also, the Marvel Spider-Man games on the PlayStation are also a major point in this as well. However, before Miles' creation, the go-to replacement for Peter Parker as Spider-Man was his daughter Mayday Parker. But since that void has now been filled by Miles Morales, and most of the stories revolving around Miles having replacing Peter Parker after either his retirement or his death, meant that Mayday Parker had been rendered obsolete. And I think it's really sad because Mayday Parker is such a brilliant character. Most new fans of the character won't even know who Mayday Parker is. Most people will know her as the baby that appeared in Across the Spider-Verse, when actually she's a lot more than that. And I'd argue that she's actually the perfect legacy character following Peter Parker as Spider-Man. Why? Well, let me explain. Mayday Parker has this one simple but special trait that none of the other legacy characters to Spider-Man have. She is Peter Parker's daughter. Now, why does this matter? Well, simply the types of stories that you can tell are vastly different and more impactful to stories that you can tell with someone like Miles Morales or Ben Reilly or Spider-Gwen. That family dynamic between Mayday and Peter is what makes her comeuppance so intense and so special. The tantalizing stakes between Peter, MJ and Mayday as Mayday risks her life because she wants to follow in her father's footsteps is a great story. Not only does this make Mayday Parker a really interesting and powerful character, it also makes Peter Parker really interesting as well. Peter Parker worrying for his daughter fighting crime is not something that we get to see often. Yes, we have Peter worrying about Miles Morales, but Miles isn't his son. Miles isn't someone that he's related to. Mayday Parker is literally his daughter. Mayday being Peter's daughter makes the story 10 times more believable and intense when he's struggling to keep it together knowing that his daughter is out there fighting crime. Peter finally overcoming his fears and letting go, allowing his daughter to take his place as the main Spider-Person in New York, is a natural but fitting end to the Peter Parker saga, and I think personally it fits as a passing the torch story a lot more than it does with Miles Morales, despite how much I love that character. At the end of the day, Mayday Parker is a forgotten but really awesome character that I think should be shown a lot more love and respect within Spider-Man comics. And it's just an absolute shame that not more Spider-Man media use this character to their advantage and make some really awesome stories with her. Here you can watch my video on why Miles Morales should replace Peter Parker permanently in the 616 universe. Thank you very much to the members for supporting the channel. You guys are absolutely awesome. If you want to become a member and support the channel, then click the join button down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.